Welcome back to another video. It is 5 to 7 on Thursday evening. It is very late. Thankfully, it is my shortest training session today. I am not feeling my best. I have had an awful headache all day, like literally all day, and I've been kind of expecting a migraine to kind of come from it, but it hasn't. But my painkillers also haven't touched the headache. Not entirely sure why. I've got one. I've made sure, obviously, to make sure I'm hydrated. I've eaten like good quality foods. Didn't get tons of sleep last night, but I got like a solid 7 hours. I would say maybe 6.5, 7 hours, which isn't terrible. Stress hasn't been too bad either, so I don't really know what's caused it today, but it's fine. The day is nearly done. Gonna train, have some food, and just get an early night. I don't have to get up super early tomorrow either because we still can't walk Zuko at the moment, so I don't have to get up and walk him before I start work or anything tomorrow. So that's okay. But yeah, it's been a good day though, to be fair. Like, outside of the fact that my head's been hurting like mad, I had a podcast, so I had to take a little bit of a break from the podcast because just other things are priority. Like, the podcast is more of like, I try and think of it like a passion project. Like, I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, and actually from a business perspective, it is really good for getting my name out there a little bit more, and I do get quite a lot of like regular listeners and like downloads every time I upload, and like it's a really good thing. And also from like a networking perspective, it's been great forcing me into conversations with people, or like not even just conversations with people I wouldn't normally speak to, because a lot of them I would, obviously the ones abroad and stuff that I've had on I would, and like athletes and coaches, but in the UK a lot of the people I've had on I do already know, but it's like an hour plus of like general conversation I wouldn't normally have, and like it's been really good for just like a networking, bouncing ideas off of each other, that sort of thing. Like, even outside of the podcast itself, the conversations I have with people once we stop filming, like quite often, also there's a plane going over the house, you can definitely hear that in the background, quite often we'll get the podcast filmed and then we'll just stay on the call for like another hour or two and just keep chatting, like obviously depending on what time we've all got available, but that's such a recurrent theme when I film these podcasts, and I always leave them in a really good mood. But equally, in terms of my priority list, the podcast is kind of at the bottom. Like, obviously top priority is always going to be current clients. Second priority is going to be clients that are inquiring. Third priority is more of like marketing, business growth, content. And although podcast does land in that, it's not fully in that, you know? And I literally didn't even mention like learning development and stuff in that, but then I think the podcast is also quite a good tool for learning development in a way. Not even so much the conversations on the podcast, but the ones after. Anyway, this is not the point. The point I was going to say was I've just not been able to justify prioritizing that lately, especially like the priorities I just listed are literally within like the coaching space, not even to mention like personal life, other areas. Like, the podcast essentially has, like, I'm not quitting it, I'm not stopping it, but it's just not feasible for me to do weekly uploads consistently right now. So I've kind of just given myself a little bit of grace, and I've had a couple weeks without posting one. I'm going to post the one that I filmed today on Monday. Haven't got another one booked in yet. I think there's one penciled in with a couple of other people on Thursday, so potentially I'll get another one up the week after, but I'm just going to kind of do it as and when. I'd like to like a British preview. Also, the wind is blowing against the door, so it's really noisy in the background. But yeah, basically, it breaks my heart because I really enjoy the podcast, but equally, I have to be realistic, and it's just not a priority. And in a way, the podcast is probably more priority than YouTube because it does get more listens and stuff than my YouTube does, I guess. But then equally, YouTube is much easier for me to do because I just film as I'm training, right? Like, I don't. And it allows me to reflect on my training, and I think it allows me to really just like get my thoughts and process them as I'm going, which is really good and beneficial, and it doesn't really take me any time. And even putting these YouTube videos together, like you can tell I don't do like fancy editing, like I literally just chop the clips together, like I don't edit the clips, I rarely have to cut anything out, like I literally do like a one take, chat to the camera, upload, done. So yeah, basically the podcast has had to take a little bit of a mini break, which I hate because consistency is something I'm so big on and I really care about. And in every other aspect of my life and my work and everything, I make sure I'm as consistent as possible. But it's that thing of I have to be realistic around where my time can go. And that is the first thing that is going to fall off if something has to fall off. But it is not ending, it's still continuing. I've got an episode that I filmed today, had a really, really good chat with someone today that I've not actually spoken to before. So that was really good. And we stayed on the call for like another hour after the episode, chatted loads of things, and it was just a really good conversation. And I'm always in a good mood after, like even today I had the worst headache, still have it, but the call was a distraction and I really enjoyed the conversation, so it put me in a good mood even regardless of the headache. But yeah, I am trying to get more things booked in my diary just further in advance with the podcast to just make sure that it continues to go, and it will continue, and things are changing. I'm currently balancing a part-time job with my coaching. As coaching expands, my part-time job is going to continue to kind of less hours, which will obviously allow me more time for all of these things that I want to do. But I will say, last week, I briefly mentioned this in a previous video. Last week I had a set day where there's another plane going over the house. Last week I had a day where I really sat down and planned my week out in terms of coaching stuff. Not I've got the replies and the basics down and booking in calls. I'll always just book them in where I can, whatever. This plane is super noisy. But I sat down and made a proper plan for all of the odd bits and the extra bits and the Instagram posts, and when I'm going to sit down and edit my YouTube videos, and I allocated set time each week for that. And this week I've stuck to it perfectly, and I've found everything has just balanced so much better that I now feel okay, you can start booking in these calls now because you know where you can fit them in. And I think the thing is with the podcast as well, depending on who I have on, depending on their time zone, depending on their schedule, depending on what they do for work, etc., I then have to be very flexible with my schedule, and it's when I start to be more flexible with my own schedule that I kind of struggle to balance things. Anyway, that was a lot of talking. Updates in terms of everything else. I don't really have a lot. I had 2 incidents with Zuko today, very minor incidents. I was holding his chews for him. He likes us to hold them while he chews them, and he accidentally caught my thumb and ripped half of my nail back. Really painful. It's still there, it's still intact. The gel's kind of holding it together, but my thumb really hurts. And then literally 10 minutes later, I was holding his chew for him again, and again, he did not mean to do it. And actually, the second he realised that I was hurt, because obviously I didn't tell him off, I was just oh my God, that really hurt. He was so sweet and cuddly and wouldn't stop kissing me because he obviously knew that I'd got hurt. But yeah, he also caught my finger really, not majorly, just at the bottom of my nail, and made my finger bleed. And so now I have a really sore thumb and finger. But it's okay, very minor things to complain about. Overall though, things are pretty good. It's been a good week. It's just my headache that's annoying me, which is why I'm just gonna kind of get this session done. It's my lightest session. I've got tempo bench, ascending, set loads. I think working up 92.5, not gonna be a problem. Then got my accessories to do. I want to push my accessories today. I really want to start pushing them harder on this day than I have been. We'll see how I feel as we go. I've written the loads that I wanted to do based on last week anyway. So I'm going to just go in with the plan. I'm hoping, oh my God, I swear there's another plane above. That might be the same one. Anyway, apologies for the background noise. But yes, I want to have a really good productive session, but equally I'm not feeling brilliant, so we'll just kind of see how we go. I'll show you guys my top set on bench, which I think is 92.5, so it's not going to be overly exciting. Probably won't recap anything. I'll just check in with you guys again on Saturday for SBD. Let it go, 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see 한여름에도 난 겨울. Yeah, got your cold blood. Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear. Okay, so it is Saturday and it is cold. It's just gone 12. I am not in really a rush today. I've got some plans this evening / afternoon just to see some friends, but it's a pretty relaxed Saturday and having the day off work as well. I mean, I say that I was replying to some client messages this morning as well. I was having breakfast, but I'm not going to be sat at my desk at all today. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty chill day. I'm looking forward to training. Training has felt really good this block. Even I had some shoulder issues and stuff last week / start of this week. They seem to have cleared up now. Energy levels are pretty good today. My cold is pretty much gone, I think. I've got a little bit of a cough still, but for the most part, I feel pretty healthy again. So I think we're in a good spot. We are 6 weeks out tomorrow. The rota has been released. I'm meeting the Sunday morning, which I'm pretty happy about. I booked my hotel for the Friday and Saturday night, and it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from here. So I'm going to travel the Friday. Probably, I'd like to go and see the expo and see how everything's laid out on the Saturday. But I also think I might just spend the Saturday chilling in my hotel room, just having like a proper lazy day, just making sure my weight's where it needs to be, that sort of thing. The hotel I'm staying in as well does have a spa, so I'm hoping the sauna and stuff will be open early enough so that if I wake up heavy, I can sauna instead of hot bath. But I did also request a room with a bath just to be safe. So yeah, we'll see kind of how I feel obviously near the time. The one thing I like about going to a venue a day early is that I can kind of get a lay of the land and see where everything is, see where I have to go, especially because I weigh in at 9 a.m. on the Sunday, so it'd be quite good to know exactly where I've got to go and not have that as like one thing stressing me out. Not that it will be stressful, like I know I'll figure it out regardless, but if I can go to a venue and get a lay of the land the day before, like I always feel much better on comp day. However, because it is at NEC this year at an expo, I don't really want to pay expo entry for the day before just to get a lay of the land, so I might just wing it on the day and see. But I will be there early, so that's good. I would like to go and watch the lifters before me as well, but I also think it's probably going to be standing room. Not sure if they're going to have seats or anything because of the way that it'll probably be laid out. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see nearer the time. I've got plenty of time to decide, but I have my hotel booked, which is good. And I booked it far enough in advance that it was actually pretty cheap, which is very good news. So yeah, nothing to really say. I'm looking forward to this session. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good. Squats have felt really good lately. I'm most excited for sumo today, in all honesty. Bench will be fine, I know that. Bench's got a set load for my top single anyway. Squats, it's just a case of making things move how I want them to and just committing and being confident under the bar, which I'm definitely getting better at again. And then sumo, I'm just really excited to have a play with and make things move, especially with how good they felt last Saturday. Things are starting to click with sumo, so very excited there to just keep going, chipping away, see what I can load today. I think I've got a single at like 6.5 RP on sumo, so nothing too heavy, but I'd like to start creeping closer to the 170-ish range for that. I think I did 160 last week at like a 5.5, so you never know. We'll see how things feel. Obviously I'll get a feel during the session of how strong I'm feeling before we even get to sumo, but I'm not on a time crunch, so I've got the time to just take my time. Yeah, enjoy the session, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it's going to be a good one, although I don't think my speaker's got that much battery, so I probably should put that on charge while I'm training. But yeah, anyway, I'll show you guys my heaviest sets. I won't show you my working sets and stuff, just because it's just boring. But I'll show you guys my heaviest sets and let you know how everything goes. 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 기출들 꿈에도 I wasn't done 나만 빼고 넌 모두에게 참 친절해 배신감이 들어 단판이 돼도 머릿속을 흔들니 ibuprofen 그만해 it's time to stop 승부욕을 자극하는 style yeah. 알면서도 마음이 자꾸 내게 가 안만 빠져버릴까 If you want me back I'll tell you I'm sorry If you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see 한여름에도 넌 겨울 Yeah, girl, you're cold-blooded Yeah, girl, you're cold-blooded Yeah, yeah, yeah Girl, you're cold-blooded Girl, you're cold Girl, you're cold-blooded I'm like frozen 뭐야 모두 stress은 gotta let it go 했어 소개팅 데이팅 어플 다 깔아 또 보았어 반대가 끌린대 opposites attract Don't know about me and you yeah we fell into the cracks Yeah 깎고 너네 no cap 왜 나는 보여 what's happening 객관적일 수가 없이 이미 game white flag and wave it fast Yeah I'm leaving back but 말해도 너만 보면 나도 내 맘 I don't know 이거 love a relationship 헷갈리기만 해 girl I'll tell you I'm sorry If you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 띵하고 어지러워 I see Okay, so session is done. Obviously, as always, excuse the state of me. Very happy with the session today, actually. Squats my 165 triple, anything 165 plus, I start to tempo on the descent when I train alone at home and I just kind of get a bit nervous. So that's one thing I really want to avoid doing today. And I hit a 165 double earlier in the weeks on my secondary day. So I knew I could do it, I just had to be confident. And actually each rep kind of got easier. Like the first rep, slightly hesitant, second rep, better, third rep, easy. The target was like an RP 6, 6.5. And honestly, I don't even think it was a 6. Like it felt really comfortable, like I could have kept going all day. So that's really good. It's 175 single. Again, main goal was just not tempo the descent. And I didn't really, it was slightly, but it was good. I think had I had spotters, it would have been incredible. So very happy that 175 moved like that as well. Back offs, I did a set of 5 at 152. Goal was an RP 5 to 6, I believe, and I would say it was like a 5. And then I did 2x5 at 140, super easy peasy, got through that pretty quickly. moved on to bench, and I won't lie, my shoulder wasn't feeling 100% as I was warming up, but it moved well. My 107.5 single wasn't super speedy, but I'd say it's probably about an RP6, which is fine. It was a set load anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. So it moved really well. I just focused on executing as best as I could. And I definitely felt like my leg drive was the best today that it has been for a while. And things just felt like they were clicking a bit more today. So I'm really happy with that, especially because I was a bit hesitant with my shoulder. Highlight of bench though. So I had a set of 4 after. I think the target was an RP 6.5. And last week I had a target of an RP 6 and I did 95 and it was a major undershoot. So I was like, I'm gonna go 100 this week. Like I'm gonna do 100 for a set of 4, which for a week 2, focusing on like good quality pausing and stuff as well is pretty heavy for me. Like I haven't been at that range on a week 2 for a long time. And it moved so well, like literally as I unracked it, I was like, have I forgotten to put a 5 each side and have I just got like 90 on the bar? Did the set, pauses obviously got shorter as the set went on, but that's pretty normal. But it felt incredible, like I could have kept going, like it was probably an RP6 at most, so I was super happy with that. Then I'd had some lighter sets of 4 at 90, so just kind of got through them fairly quickly. And then sumo. So potentially a slight overshoot on sumo, but I don't think so. Like if it was like half an RP, like it wasn't really. I went up 10 kilos on last week for everything. I did a triple at 140, a triple at 150, a double at 160, single at 170, and it felt really comfortable. The only way I can really describe how the 170 felt was it kind of felt how 160 was feeling up until like this block. So I think it's really good that I hit 170 on week 2, which I would never be doing this conventional as well. If we'd have decided to stick with conventional, my week 2 single would not be 170. I'm probably not going to be taking 10 kilo jumps the next 2 weeks, like let's be honest. I've got 2 more weeks of the block, but I'm really happy to hit 170 and I want to get that routine at this point. So very happy with how it moved. Definitely finding hinging back into position and like letting my quads then travel forward to the bar a little bit more is feeling much better and more fluid as a starting position than it was before when I was kind of sitting into it a little bit more. Really staying on my legs well and just overall just happy. It was a good session. I got through deadlifts really quickly as well. Like I need to start slowing down between deadlift sets because it's a pyramid system. I literally just go, 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 go. So imagine how well they would move if I actually rested between them. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Like it was a good session, it went well. I'm now going to go in, have some food, have a shower and then head out to see my friends this evening. And yeah, I'm very happy. Nothing else to really say. Definitely feeling good knowing that like my nutrition stuff is on point now. And I also had this moment this morning where I was like, this is the heaviest I'm now going to be until British, which is a good thing because as I get a little bit lighter and closer to my weight class just through dieting down, and not even include like the weight cut at the end, just from dieting down and sitting a bit lighter, my leverages always feel better. So happy with that as well. And yeah, I just kind of feel like I've got chalk all over me. I do feel like I'm in a position where things are coming back to where they were when I was at peak strength at the start of the year. So fingers crossed we can keep this going into British and have a really good comp, which I'm sure we will. And it feels really nice not having that decision fatigue of coaching myself as well. I actually had a conversation with a friend a few days ago. They were asking me how I was finding being coached. And I won't lie, I think, well, they asked how I was finding being coached and I obviously said, I'm really enjoying it. Like the decision fatigue is gone. Like I don't think about my own training anywhere near as much as I was before. I can just come in, do the program, whatever. Like I actually look forward to coming in here. There's no second guessing what I'm doing or anything like that. And it's just a really nice feeling and like having that mental like clarity and just more space in my brain, right? Especially because my job is coaching. Like powerlifting is on my brain so much. I don't want my own like me as the athlete on my brain as much. And it's definitely not. And I'm really enjoying it in that sense. And they did then ask me if I'd gotten stronger. And I'm fairly certain that was a little bit of a dig in terms of, I think a lot of people that obviously don't know how I was training before just assume that I was doing things wrong. And they thought me moving to a coach, I'd have this sudden surge in strength. But like, I know what I'm doing. Like what I was doing before was obviously working. I'd just gotten into such a mental rut that I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And that was holding me back. Like that's why I hired Lewis as my coach. And obviously we've changed some stuff up, but nothing's been like drastically adjusted. And really like my volume's a bit lower and stuff overall, which is a good thing. Like why do more than I have to? But like, yeah, it was definitely a bit of a, I don't know if this is a thing, like a backhanded question. But I am happier. Like I'm so much happier not having to think about my own training and just enjoying the process. And also like on comp day, like having that decision taken away from me in terms, like obviously there'll be some input from me, but the decision of attempts and stuff won't be on me as much, which will be really nice. Like the openers and stuff, like I always overthink my openers in so badly, and it'll be nice to have someone else just telling me what to do and having that faith in me. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying it. I'm feeling in a really good spot. Like, this is the best I felt about training pretty much since the start of the year when I was hitting these crazy PBs and stuff. So it's good to be where I'm at. All 3 lifts are feeling good. I think deadlift is finally coming through, and I'm so glad I trusted my instinct and tried sumo after my comp in May. I remember, like, people, because I'm not really built for sumo, but I'm also not really built for conventional. Like, I'm not built terribly for either, but I'm not built well for either. And because I'm quite like a brute strength kind of overall lifter in person, obviously there's still technique behind everything I do, but like, it would make sense that conventional was for me, but it's just not. Like, it's just not. And whether it's a mental thing or not, I don't know. But I remember people thought it was a bit of a weird thing, me trying sumo, and I was like, well, if nothing else, it's a fun change. It's something new, it's a different challenge, takes a little bit of pressure off, right? But there was something telling me months ago that I think sumo might be for me. And obviously it's still new, like I'm still perfecting it and stuff, and it's still got a long way to go before I'm competitive with my deadlift. Like, I need to be well into the 200s for that. But like, this is the best I've felt about my deadlift literally in over a year, probably 2 years. Like, I haven't hit a PB on deadlift in 2 years. So to be in this position with sumo feeling this good, still 6 weeks out, still 6 weeks to refine things, like, I'm feeling really good. And I'm so glad I trusted myself and went with that. And like, when I started with Lewis, to be fair, he even said to me he's not convinced on the sumo. He thinks conventional is probably the way. He said, but he is willing, like, he's keeping an open mind. We'll just see how both go. And then 8 weeks out, we'll decide which one to stick with, or he'll decide which one to stick with. And he did decide sumo. And like, I'm not really built for sumo, but equally, I'm not really built for conventional. And whether it's the confidence thing, I don't know, but I'm really glad I went with my instincts and tried sumo, is the moral of that. So yeah, anyway, had a fun session, feeling really good, but I do want to get in and eat because I'm very hungry, and I did this session without any caffeine as well. Like, I started sipping on my Monster, I think like halfway through bench, but I've literally had like that much. I'm going to start taking my caffeine pills for these Saturday morning sessions, and I'm going to keep, I say morning, I didn't start till the afternoon. I'm going to start focusing on caffeine pills pre-training for these Saturday, like, weekend sessions. And then I'll probably start sipping a Monster like second half of bench, just because I enjoy having one, but by that point I'm hydrated as well. But I managed to get through my whole thing of squash and electrolytes, making sure to have electrolytes for every single session now as well, like even my Thursday light bench, because I keep being like, even my Thursday session, like, no, you need to take that one seriously too. So yeah, anyway, feeling good. Gonna wrap the video up here. Thank you if you made it to the end, and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.